Hey everybody, it's your boy Search Dragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Today we're covering a 3 special featuring Crown Jewel, not Smackdown Live, Friday Night Smackdown, and 205 Live. So let's go ahead with October 31st, Halloween night here in America, and we'll see how that went. We have wow. Damn, they gave that information. That was pretty good. We would have the 20-man battle royale to determine the number 1 contender for AJ Styles' United States Championship title. It would none other be Humberto Carrillo who gets that chance in the kickoff. We then go on to the actual show, and it showcases Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, versus Cain Velasquez. Sadly to say, the match ended as a UFC style match, ending quicker than we expected. Not too fast, like seconds fast, but good minute in, and the match finally ended, or 2 minutes. With Velasquez having the upper hand, but his knee, which Brock Lesnar knew he had problems with, actually was struck, and he lost his balance and went straight into the Kimura lock of Brock Lesnar's submission maneuver and got the tap out. He then went on the offensive to assault Cain Velasquez, but Rey Mysterio came to the rescue with a chair, and damn, did he hit him practically everywhere. The only thing he didn't hit was his feet, his groin. He hit everything else, though. And his belly. No, he hit his belly, too. He hit him with the chair so many times, I got to count. Your thoughts on Brock Lesnar retaining his title? Oh, you're happy, okay.
Because, they say, everybody's saying that there's no way Cain Velasquez was going to win that match anyway.
Okay. Next up, we have the Tag Team World Cup. In a gauntlet-style match, these individuals would participate, but ultimately the match would end with these last 2 competitors, the OCs and the Viking Raiders.
It was a tag team turmoil match, not a gauntlet.
Oh, it's kind of like a gauntlet match, if you think about it. One team is eliminated, the next team comes in. That's a gauntlet.
That's an elimination, bro.
No, elimination is when all competitors are in the ring.
And they get eliminated.
But they weren't all in the ring. They came out one at a time after the other team was eliminated. That sounds like a gauntlet.
But gauntlet,
they call it a turmoil.
Gauntlet's like when you put one gets pinned, other one comes in.
Same thing, just with 2 men. So they say turmoil, I call it gauntlet. Next up, we have hold up. You got me almost distracted. It would end with the OC, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows fighting off against the Viking Raiders, and ultimately the Viking Raiders lose to the OC, getting the win in a game of survival. Although they were both kind of fresh, when you think about it. The best in the world tag team is the OCs. Next, we have Mansoor, local Saudi Arabian wrestler, versus Cesaro, and he gets the win, makes a little speech, and everybody's happy. Next up, we have a match between Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman. Sadly to say, this match did entertain us, nonetheless. I'm not going to say that. It entertained us. But the match ended in what people were kind of expecting. Not in the manner, but still. It ended with a knockout punch. Braun Strowman was outside the ring, and Tyson Fury punched him, pushing him over the edge, and Braun Strowman couldn't make it back into the ring for the 10 count. He kept stumbling and falling. Tyson Fury ultimately gets the win, but Braun Strowman gets the last laugh, power slamming him in the ring, and Tyson Fury just gets right back up wanting more. But that seems to be the end of the feud. Next up, we have the Singh brothers defeat R-Truth in their hometown after, I forgot to mention this. Apparently, during the 20-man kickoff show, the Singh brothers would be eliminated right after R-Truth, and R-Truth takes an opportunity right there outside the ring because during this match of the 20-man tag team a battle royale rule, the rule of the 24/7 title would be suspended until after the match. Well, it was after the match, and R-Truth took an opportunity and became, for the upteenth time, we don't even have a number now. Seriously, how many times have we won it? 20 times? More than that? Is your new 24/7 champion. And then quickly later, the other Singh brother got the opportunity to win the title for the first ever two brothers actually winning one title separately of the 24/7 title. That's a first as well.
Oh, so your boys want to beat R-Truth?
He's not my boys. They're not my boys. I'm just saying for the record that they mentioned that they are the first brothers to individually win a singles title. So that's first. Now that that's done, we got the United States Championship match with AJ Styles defending his title against Humberto Carrillo, winner of that very 20-man battle royale. Sadly to say, Humberto seemed to injure his knee during that match and was showing signs over and over that there was something going on. Ultimately, AJ Styles finally takes advantage of that with the calf crusher and makes him tap out. Well, actually, no. I think he actually hit him with the Styles Clash. And honestly, I thought it was Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows who was outside the ring the whole time that would have helped him cheat. No. He won fair and square. And the OCs, all three members all together, too sweet with the trophy and the title together at the same time, showing dominance for Team Raw. Next, we have the first ever women's match in Saudi Arabia with Natalya versus Lacey Evans, renewing the rivalry, but surprisingly ends with a submission by Natalya, and it didn't exactly go the way we thought it would be a feud. Nope, they actually hugged it out, congratulated each other for the match, and they walked out wearing attire that you would never see them wear because they were covered from, well, not head to toe, neck to toe, wearing, I'm talking extra long t-shirts that have their bottom of the shirts going over their butt. So, trying to obey the culture.
Well, actually, what they're doing is they are forced to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they didn't do it, something pretty much bad would happen.
Next up, we have Team Hogan versus Team Flair, with Ricochet dressing up as an anime superhero known as All Might from My Hero Academia. I know, because I watch it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was not an elimination rule. It was one fall for the entirety of the match, and it was just heated rivalry between Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Rusev and Bobby Lashley, King Corbin and Shorty G, Roman Reigns, and I don't think Randy Orton had any issues with anybody. Ali and all that. It just kept going and going until finally the win would go to Team Hogan thanks to Roman Reigns. Finally, the match that surprised us all. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus the Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. In a Falls Count Anywhere match where the match cannot stop until there's a decisive victor. And Seth Rollins hit the Fiend with eight curve stomps, 2 at separate times, and 6 in a row on stage. And The Fiend ultimately fell into a fireworks display. Seth Rollins tried to get in there and was ultimately blinded by the sparks. And The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, got up like it was nothing, put the mandible claw on him, and then slammed him into the concrete with a, Sister Abigail flatliner style, or twisting flatliner, and got the 3 count. Your new Universal Champion, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And what's funny, at this point of time, we had not 1, but 2 heavyweight champions on SmackDown.
But here's the thing.
Don't skip ahead. Just go.
No, I'm not going to skip ahead.
Okay, mention.
It's been confirmed that Brock Lesnar is no longer on SmackDown.
You just skipped ahead.
Well, they already knew that anyway. So
yeah, but I'm just saying a review.
Yeah. And they're going to make a new title.
Mm-hmm. Nah. No, we'll cover that. Go ahead and look up SmackDown review on November 1st. And while he does that, a shout out to our boys, the remaining cast of the Heaven Monsters podcast, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as always. And a remaining shout out to Renee, Chris Petrie, Farrell, and Delvin. The take from this, I would say the best match. I'm tied between Team Hogan and Team Flair and Seth and The Fiend, because both those matches were crazy. All over the place with the teams, but it was all red and just crazy.
Did you also hear about the fans? They're booing Seth Rollins?
Yeah, they were. They wanted The Fiend to win because of his gimmick. And some people said that, this was a page that I saw on Google News that said that the best and the worst draft picks. Lacey Evans, I understand, was one of the worst, but so was The Fiend, because it said his horror gimmick was the worst. I was like, they don't know squat because people love The Fiend. This was somebody else's opinion, not the majority. That's the pathetic part. Yeah. Lacey Evans is trying her best. I'm not going to say she is. She's not having a good win-lose record right now. So she might have been the worst case. But that's why she wasn't the first pick. We come to the beginning of Friday Night Smackdown on November 1st with a surprise visit of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, issuing a statement that they want payback for Rey Mysterio's actions. Ultimately ending with this guy skipping ahead to our little show.
They already knew anyway, so
yeah, but that's the problem. You skipped. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, Paul Heyman knows, as well as Brock, that their contract was drafted to SmackDown, and they even mentioned the fact that they were Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross were ultimately drafted from Raw to SmackDown after the draft, and said that at a later time, certain SmackDown characters would be drafted to Raw as a conclusion. He said, screw that, they're going to just quit. Brock Lesnar quit SmackDown and decided to go to Raw.
Besides, did you know that he said that he
just to get at Rey Mysterio?
No, he said that to Vince McMahon before Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
He was going to do that. Vince McMahon said, okay.
Vince McMahon gave him the thumbs up. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley going against Nikki Cross. Now, Bayley gets the win with the assistance of Sasha Banks on the outside. Multiple times, Sasha Banks had tried to interfere in the match, but Nikki Cross was victorious as to evade both her and Bayley, but Bayley got the upper hand in the end. But this wouldn't be a moment where Bayley would celebrate along with Sasha Banks because an unexpected guest shows up after Brock Lesnar, and that would be Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels always rocking the NXT shirt and hat. But now, the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler shows up and wrecks Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, and the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley in one go alone. She didn't have her horsewomen flunkies with her. She stood alone and took on two exhausted and one half-exhausted woman. Go figure. Next, it would be stipulated that NXT is here because, as I was saying in the last podcast when he left, that I was watching the Crown Jewel and we are getting confirmed. And he was saying, no, this is not happening. No, this is not happening. Well, it's happening. NXT is added to the Survivor Series face to face and now 3-way dance brand.
I was talking about the draft, bro. I didn't say anything about the whole thing about the.
No, you were saying it in Survivor Series. I asked you that maybe NXT will take a part of it. You said, not happening because it can't compete with Raw and SmackDown. Well, now they are, my brother.
I'm talking about the draft. They're not getting drafted to.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's what I was saying. I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about the draft.
Yeah, we mentioned Survivor Series too, and you said no.
Yeah, that's what Vince McMahon said. Triple H said they weren't going to do
that. That's a lie.
No.
Somebody put words in their mouths, but because they're doing it.
If it doesn't work, it works.
Well, it's definitely working because people are talking. And case in point, Sami Zayn talks and opens his mouth, and Matt Riddle and your lookalike Keith Lee shows up, chases him to the arena, and ultimately lay him out.
I look like it's Bobby Lashley.
Huh?
I look like it's Bobby Lashley.
Where does this say Bobby Lashley?
Attitude.
That looks like Keith Lee.
Attitude.
Okay, give me a smug look. Give me a smug look. I didn't say that. I mean, smile. Just smile. Keith Lee, ladies and gentlemen. What'd I say?
Andre Cien. I'm gonna say this, John.
I'm trying to think. With my beard, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Can't think of anybody. Humberto? Nah. Angel Gaza? Nah, I'm not that good looking. Yeah, I think I'm on Andrea right now in looks. Because I can't say I look like anybody else in this common day. Next up, we would have the Miz TV. Be right back. As I was saying, we would have Miz TV, who was supposed to have The Fiend on his talk show, but that didn't help, so he was going to interview himself, it was said. Well, not true, because somebody showed up. It was none other than former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. Words would be said, and insults and challenges would be made. It is a one-on-one match between The Miz and Tommaso Ciampa, and Tommaso Ciampa lays out The Miz. Next up, it was supposed to be a match between Fire and Desire of Sonya Deville and 3, 2, 1, Mandy. Try that again. Take 2. Mandy. Okay, you start this time. Mandy. See, we can't sync right now, but you get the point. Sorry to say, Mandy doesn't get her day. Oh no!
I see what you're talking about. The NXT thing. They're in the matches, but not drafting.
Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. It was supposed to be Fire and Desire versus Carmella and Dania Brooks. Nope. Bianca Belair jumps both those girls and shows them why she's the EST of NXT. And then we have Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox, thank you, fill in for a tag team. And the two end up just laying waste to Sonya Deville. And sadly, Mandy Rose sees why Rhea Ripley is one of the most brutal women in WWE. Putting her in an ankle almost brace, lifting her up in the air, takes it for a spin, and slams her in that position, showing case her finishing move that's very unique.
You can go to say, I know I'm not a fan of the women's evolution thing, so I don't know what you care for it. It's a joke to me.
We then go backstage where Daniel Bryan is confronted by Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and the subject that a challenge was made. I don't know what they're talking about in Saudi Arabia, but a challenge was made, saying the first time ever that NXT was going to take part, and they were that somebody was looking for a fight. Daniel Bryan says he's looking for a fight, and Triple H puts up, doesn't shut up. He actually put his champion of NXT, Adam Cole, who's normally a heel, but considering it's brand versus brand this time around, three-way dance.
But did you say
all heels and baby faces team up together for the common goal of showing brand supremacy.
But did you say who Daniel Bryan thought he was going to wrestle? Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah. We know for a fact Shawn Michaels wasn't going to fight. They made it look like it just for fun, but it would be Adam Cole as the NXT champion, and the title of the NXT championship would be put on the line. And ultimately, Adam Cole beats Daniel Bryan in a fight that was going both ways, and people were cheering and loving this match. And I guess in a form of disrespect, I'm the blue brand guy, but even I know how much hype it is for NXT. But the fans know that more than anybody. Worldwide, in that city alone, while that match was going, NXT chants were thrown everywhere. Adam Cole's names and baby were being thrown everywhere.
But here's the thing, I'm gonna let you finish off. I'm gonna give the info later.
Ultimately, the match would showcase the fact that a lot of freaking people showed up from NXT, and Triple H would say that he found out that NXT was going to go to war. He goes to family. That means his roster, the people he brought in, the people he gave a chance to, and they did not disappoint. He looks to family and creates an army to go to war. They are NXT. And they are going to Survivor Series to show they have something to prove, that they are the new A show. And that's my opinion on their part. Me putting myself in their shoes.
Dude.
Go ahead.
They the C show.
That you say they're the C show, but if they get the most wins, they're the new A show.
A show means like what the show that came first became the other show, bro.
Actually, it's more in this industry. It's the show that brings in the most ratings and is most dominant.
No, Vince made an announcement this morning that they explained to the world that the A show means that the show that came on.
Oh, that's him paying favoritism.
No.
That's what
him and Twitch and both.
They're gonna be the new A show. They said it.
They said it, but it ain't true, bro. You gotta think about.
Seeing is believing. So we'll wait till Survivor Series and see what happens.
No,
I'm voting for the Blue Brand. And it didn't go so well last year.
Dude,
that was a lot of losses.
They never win.
But this time around, let's see what NXT puts up.
No, I'm saying.
So go ahead. Look up 205 Live.
But you got to think about this.
Yeah.
When they say that, don't mean it's true.
It is when results put in.
But I don't know if you got that. I don't know if you know this, but here's what I'm going to say anyway.
Look up what are you talking?
They lost
205 Live.
They lost ratings.
Against NXT, yeah. I mean, AEW, yeah.
No. Smackdown lost ratings, bro.
Yeah, that I know. I already know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. 205 Live, we'll be right back. Here we go, speed run.
You actually think that NXT going to win?
I want to know. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to leave it to them and showcase who wants to win more. red brand, blue brand, or the yellow brand. We then go to the 205 Live after that little incident with the freaking first shot from NXT on Smackdown, when apparently a lot of the brand members were elsewhere. So the draft on Smackdown was low numbers. We'll cover this on Friday for Monday night and NXT and see how that went. We already know what happened on Raw, but that's the idea of a review. So 205 Live starts with Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Arya Daivari. And Isaiah Swerve Scott wins the match, defeating Arya Daivari 2 times. Next, we have Gentleman Jack Gallagher going up against Ray Jazikov. Yeah. I don't know who this guy is, but Jack Gallagher whoops his ass. Gets the win. Next up, we have a match that Lio Rush was the NXT Cruiserweight champion, requested to give this guy a shot to see if he could be a number 1 contender. So this was not a title match, and this wasn't a number 1 contender match. This was Lio Rush versus Raul Mendoza. Raul. Ultimately, Raul ends up putting up a hell of a fight to Lio Rush, proving him right, but ultimately Lio Rush gets the win and congratulates Mendoza for an honest, hard-working match. And that would be pretty much it. Like I said, a speed run. So, what do you take from this? What are you looking forward to? Because if you think about it, now we know for a fact that Brock Lesnar has been moved to Monday Night Raw. And you have information on the current status of not so much the Universal Champion, but the Universal title itself. Go ahead, my brother.
The Universal title will be moving to SmackDown, and it will be given a new design.
Courtesy of the redness of the Universal title that was always meant for Raw is now going to go to a different color scheme. Will it go black, or will it go blue, or something else?
Well, actually, it's not going to go blue.
What's it going to do?
The same thing as the championship. Make it go gold.
Gold?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, Vince McMahon, he does not, and Triple H does not believe in having a blue championship belt.
But they do that for the women's title and the freaking tag team titles.
Yeah, because the men will complain about that. He think they both think it's really stupid to do that. So. Yeah.
Anything else?
And and Randy Orton has signed a 5-year deal with WWE. To keep him on
WWE and not anywhere else.
Yeah, and not go to AEW.
Yeah,
they're gonna pay him millions of dollars for him to stay.
What time is it?
9:28.
Yeah, we're not gonna have enough time for anything else. So that'll be it for now. We're gonna see if we can get done early Friday and see if we can cover. God, that's a lot of stuff. 2-episode edition of Impact. I guess we're going to have a 2-episode edition of All Elite Wrestling. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, and Monday Night Raw and NXT. So, speed run some of that stuff. Otherwise,
but like I'm saying, the Survivor Series thing, it's not saying who's like the A show. They're just like who's going on, which show going to win
is the best.
Which show going to win
is the best in the year.
Nothing to do with that being which A show. It's just something who's going to survive. It's like remember the WWE versus WWE.
Oh, but they get bragging rights. Bragging rights. Raw definitely got bragging rights last year. SmackDown only won 1 match, and it was the tag team survival match, in which case was the kickoff, and Vince McMahon didn't count it. And the New Day were boasting about it, and yet it was the Usos that won the whole thing.
Of course, Vince McMahon does not do anything with He's the owner. He don't care what the wrestlers say.
Well, that'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. You like this show? Give it a thumbs up. The higher. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button you like the content and hit that notification bell right there for the next Heaven Monsters podcast. I'm Surge Dragon. This is T-Money, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Bye.